Imagine walking through a narrow desert canyon where towering cliffs rise on either side, their walls glowing red and gold in the sunlight. The air feels dry, still, almost heavy with silence. And then, suddenly, the passage opens. Before you stands a breathtaking temple carved straight into the rock, its columns towering, its doorway mysterious, its purpose unclear. This is Petra, the lost city of stone. But the real mystery is not just how such a place was built 2,000 years ago. It's why it was abandoned, forgotten, and hidden from the world for centuries. What secrets sleep inside this city of the dead? And what stories remain locked behind its monumental facades? Petra is more than a tourist destination. It is one of the world's greatest unsolved riddles of ancient history. Carved out of rose-red sandstone, the city looks like something out of a dream, a place where human hands and natural rock merged to form wonders that seem impossible. But who were the people who built it? Why did they devote their lives to creating tombs bigger than palaces? And why did such a rich and powerful civilization suddenly vanish, leaving behind nothing but silent stone? The answers are not simple. They twist through history, legend, and speculation, creating a story that has fascinated explorers, archaeologists, and ordinary dreamers for centuries. To understand Petra, we must go back more than 2,000 years, to a time when deserts were alive with caravans and trade routes were the lifelines of empires. Petra was the heart of the Nabataean kingdom. The Nabataeans were an ancient Arab people, skilled traders, engineers, and builders. They were not as famous as the Egyptians or the Romans, yet they controlled one of the most important crossroads of the ancient world. Imagine a place where spices from Arabia, silk from China, incense from Yemen, and gold from Africa all pass through. That was Petra. To control Petra was to control wealth beyond imagination. But what made Petra so powerful wasn't only trade, it was survival. The Nabataeans mastered the desert in ways that still amaze scientists today. They knew how to capture every drop of rain, how to hide water in cisterns carved deep into the rock, and how to channel floods into reservoirs. In a land where water meant life, they built a system so advanced that some of it still works today. Think about that. 2,000 years later, their water channels remain. It's like finding plumbing in the middle of nowhere. Without it, Petra could never have existed. With it, the city flourished. As wealth poured in, the Nabataeans left their mark on the landscape. They carved massive facades into the cliffs, decorated with columns, statues, and intricate designs. The most famous of these is Al-Khazne, or the Treasury, which rises almost 130 feet tall. But here's the twist. Despite its beauty, the treasury wasn't a palace. It was most likely a tomb. And that leads us to one of Petra's biggest mysteries. Why did this civilization dedicate so much of its genius to honoring the dead? Was it about religion, power, or something deeper, something hidden within those tombs? Now, imagine standing before the treasury at night, the moonlight casting shadows on its columns. Locals once believed that the giant urn carved at the top contained treasure. Some even fired bullets at it, hoping gold would spill out. But archaeologists think the urn is solid stone. Still, legends continue. Some say the Nabataeans hid scrolls, maps, or even ancient relics in Petra's tombs. Secrets so valuable they remain undiscovered to this day. Could it be that Petra holds not only stone wonders but lost knowledge waiting to be uncovered? As the Nabataean kingdom grew, so did its reputation. By the 1st century AD, Petra was one of the wealthiest cities in the region. Its theater could seat thousands. Its temples were grand. Its streets bustled with merchants speaking languages from every corner of the known world. Yet this golden age would not last forever. In 106 AD, the Romans arrived. They annexed Petra and made it part of their empire. At first, it seemed like Petra might continue to thrive under Roman rule. Roads were built, trade continued. But then, slowly, something changed. Trade routes shifted to the sea, bypassing Petra. Earthquakes shook the land, damaging its water systems. Over time, the city began to fade. By the Middle Ages, Petra was abandoned. It slipped from maps and from memory. Travelers passed through deserts nearby, never realizing a once great city lay hidden behind the mountains. For nearly 1,000 years, Petra was lost. It wasn't until 1812 that a Swiss explorer named Johann Ludwig Burckhardt disguised himself as an Arab traveler and rediscovered the city. Imagine the shock he must have felt walking through the narrow canyon leading to Petra, and seeing the treasury emerge from the shadows. To the Western world, Petra was a forgotten legend come to life. But even Burckhardt could only scratch the surface. What he saw was just a fragment of a city that still keeps many of its secrets buried beneath sand and stone. And that's where the mysteries deepen. Even today, archaeologists believe that more than half of Petra remains undiscovered underground. What lies hidden there? Entire neighborhoods? Temples? Scrolls? Could Petra still be holding on to clues that explain not only its rise and fall, but also the secrets of the Nabataeans themselves? Some scholars argue that Petra was more than a trade hub. It was a spiritual center. The Nabataeans worshipped gods connected to nature, like Dushara, their chief deity, and Al-Uzza, a goddess linked to fertility. Some believe the alignment of Petra DS buildings with the sun and stars suggests that the city was designed as a cosmic map, a place where heaven and earth met. Could the treasury or the monastery have been more than tombs? Could they have been sacred sites for rituals we no longer understand? Others propose more earthly theories. Perhaps Petra fell because its people became too dependent on trade. When roots changed, their wealth dried up. Or maybe repeated earthquakes shattered not only their water systems but also their will to rebuild. Yet these explanations still leave gaps. If Petra was so advanced, why couldn't its people adapt? Why abandon a city so well protected and ingeniously designed? Could there have been another reason, something historians have yet to discover? And here's another question. What happened to the Nabataeans themselves? A people so powerful simply vanish from history. We know they blended into other cultures under Roman rule, but could part of their identity have survived in secret? Could descendants of Petra's builders still carry pieces of knowledge passed down quietly through generations? The silence of Petra leaves us with endless possibilities. Standing in the amphitheater carved into stone, you can almost hear the voices of a crowd long gone. Walking through the tombs, you feel the weight of a culture that cared deeply about life after death. Looking at the city from above, you realize it was not only a home, but a masterpiece, one that still resists giving up its final chapter. So, what do you think? Was Petra abandoned because of trade and earthquakes, or did something else drive the Nabataeans away? Could there still be hidden chambers filled with secrets waiting to be revealed? And why did the world forget about Petra for so long? Was it chance, or was the city meant to stay hidden until the right time? The truth is, Petra remains one of history's greatest enigmas. Its facades whisper stories but never tell the whole tale. Archaeologists dig, historians study, tourists marvel, but the mystery lingers. And maybe that's what makes Petra so powerful. It is not just a ruin. It is a riddle carved into stone. If you enjoyed this journey into the secrets of Petra, don't let the mystery end here. Like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more stories of ancient wonders, lost civilizations, and unexplained events. Because the past isn't gone, it's waiting for us to ask the right questions. And who knows? Maybe one day the sands of Petra will reveal the truth. Until then, the mystery continues.